So we do like a little thing between us before we start, and then I'll turn and I'll introduce you guys.
It's not sexual.
It's what we're doing. Come and check it out. It's what we're all about. 561 Music.
Welcome to 561 Music. My name's Ben.
And I'm Hector.
And how, sir, are you doing?
I mean, 2 vacations in 3 weeks, man. I'm exhausted.
It's a tough life, isn't it? A tough life.
It's rough.
It sounds like you need a vacation from
I
those
need a
vacations.
vacation from my vacation. I really did. I got back and I was actually exhausted from my vacation.
You know what? I do know what you mean. It sounds very small, but I do know what you mean.
Listen, I mean, it's hard relaxing and doing nothing.
Dude,
For me,
if you
it's
like
very
us,
hard.
If you like us, it is hard relaxing.
It was, dude. I was getting anxiety over not doing anything.
Yeah, I feel
It's
you, man.
ridiculous.
Yeah, my mum gets that for sure. So what exactly were you doing? I never really knew. People kept asking me.
Well, we went on a cruise. We were supposed to go diving in Belize, but the weather did not cooperate. It was rough. It was rainy. It was crappy. So instead, we drank a lot in Belize, and then we went to Cozumel. And we were going to try to dive there since we didn't get to dive in Belize, but half the excursions were canceled, and it was just, again, shitty weather, rough seas, all that crap. So
what kind of diving would you have done?
scuba diving.
I didn't know you were a scuba diver.
I am.
That's cool. I love that.
Yeah, I've been certified for 30 years. I'm not old, I promise, but at 30 years I've been certified. Yeah.
So you got certified when you were 1.
Yeah. Of course.
No, that's cool. For some reason, I had no idea about that. We should go scuba diving together one day.
I did not know you were certified, so there you go.
Yeah, man.
We
Yeah.
should definitely go.
Yeah, I love doing that, man. It's one of the most fun things ever.
That's
Trying to
awesome.
remember what me and James did. So we played at the Square Grouper. Oh, right, yeah. And
No,
we
you-
played.
yeah, you played
We played
at-
at Carson's Tavern and with
Allie.
Hayes.
How'd that go?
And it was really good. She came over to my house, and we had a practice, but it was only one practice, and she just held her own. I mean, some people can just jam, you know. She did a great job.
So
And-
what I'm hearing is I've been replaced.
well, I have to tell you that you were sorely missed. I had a few people come up to me and be like,
Is he gone again?
"Where's the bass?" I was like,
So they didn't miss me. They missed the upright bass.
I mean, they missed the slapping of the bass.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, which is
That's
technically
fair. That's fair.
Yeah, no, there was definitely a couple of people who were very kind of turned their nose up at no bass, but you know, that wasn't Ali's fault. Ali did a great job.
You guys played. You played Friday night at Kilted, didn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
good.
cool too.
Allie played there too.
No, that was
No.
just me and James.
Nice.
And then we went out to Swank Farms
On
and
Sunday.
Yeah, and we did that epic, never-ending gig over at Swank.
Yeah.
And that is really where Ali shone. She just pulled out all the stops on that one.
Yeah. I figured. Yeah, that was a good gig to bring her on for sure.
Yeah.
for sure.
No doubt, man. It's really funny because James has a mohawk now, and Ali was there. Darren from Swank Farms was like,
Is this the
Is
same
it-
band?
yeah, he was just like, is it just you? He didn't even recognize James.
That's funny.
Yeah, totally. So I had to inform him, no, it's just one person change, and, you know, Hector will be back. And he's like, okay. You know, so-
That's pretty funny.
yeah, totally. So it was quite an interesting weekend. I'm not going to lie. I was pretty stressed out because a few of those gigs are important ones for us, and I was like, oh, please be good, please be good, please be good, because if we
Right.
were, you know, but we
Right.
were okay. Yeah, we held our own, and you know, and
Well-
Ali did a grand job.
Well, and again, the stupid thing was I left and thought about that, like, oh, this is important gigs, but I left to go diving or whatever, and in the end, I didn't even do that. So I should have just stayed here and made the money.
Well, you had a fun trip, no? It was all right.
It was all right, yeah. It was all right. Yeah.
I get to spend time with your family.
Yeah, well, it wasn't that. It was just it was Kelly and I, and then one of my artist friends, Tanya, that lives in Utah, and her husband, Thane, and then another 2 friends of mine that I met that were up in Jacksonville. That flew down as well.
For some reason, I thought you were on some kind of family excursion.
No.
Wow, I had no
Nope.
idea.
Adults only, baby. Just fun. No kids.
That's awesome. So, we have Mad Mellow with us today. We have Emily, Erica, and Devon with us today. How's it going, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
So, I think I met you, Emily, from like propaganda and like No Name Ska Band gigs and things. Is that where we met?
That's probably likely, yes.
Yeah, I think so. The first time I remember your face is from playing the No Name shows and being on stage and seeing you in the crowd with a big smile on your face. It was a very positive look in those situations. So, and also you look this is one of those stupid things people say, and I'm sorry I'm going to say it. You look the spitting image of a girlfriend I had when I was 15. And it's just like...
I think you've told me that before,
yeah,
actually.
Yeah, I have, yeah. It's really confusing. But anyway, yeah, so that first time, that's why I noticed you when we were playing with No Name. The first time I was like,
here.
oh my God, Amy's here. Yeah, but no, turns out.
Her name was Amy.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my name. No, just kidding.
And I'm really English.
No, I'm kidding.
So, how did the band Mad Mellow start?
Well, I started Mad Mellow as a jewelry business, making crystal jewelry and getting my name out there by helping bands run their merch and sell my jewelry as well. And then I met Miss Erica here at Open Jams. And we started kind of just jamming in her living room, and we did that for probably 4 to 5 months.
Yeah, it was a couple of months.
Yeah, and then we worked with a drummer. He got asked to go on tour with a different band, so now we have a new drummer.
There you go.
And then we found Devon as our guitarist, so we added him, and we've been gigging for probably since September, so 4 or 5 months now.
I
think
feel like
August.
it was...
Yeah, no, I think August was
August was our first
So
gig,
what had happened
yeah.
was, I think they had another guitar player who was sitting in and then I guess couldn't commit or whatever. I don't know the details, so I can't speculate on it. But last minute, she's like, I got a gig at Double Roads. And I was like, when? She's like, in 2 weeks. I said... fuck it, I'll do it. Let's go. And we did 2 practices and showed up, and I showed up and gigged with them. And
so that's the one that was that the 561 music one?
I don't know, man. That was in August or whatever.
That was with Ricky and you guys.
Yeah,
Ricky got us on that one.
Yeah, so Ricky and us and booked that show. So there you go.
No shit.
Yeah. That place Double Roads is their sound is amazing in there.
Yeah, it's
they know what they're
crazy
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I heard that the show that you guys did was nice and busy too. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, there was a decent crowd. We had a few people come out. That
It's
were
a difficult night to
friends
get good. Those Tuesday nights are rough. But yeah, apparently your one was popping. So thank you.
Yeah, we did. We played there twice. Right?
3 times?
Or was it 3 times?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure we did it twice after that first gig we ever played.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, it was always a great
We got that one
environment. I
Jimi
love the
Hendrix
lighting
cover
and
video,
everything.
and that was from the last time we did it, wasn't it? I don't remember.
It's a cool spot. Vince, he puts his heart and soul into the place, and this sound is fantastic. And yeah, man, I think at one point we were going to do some live 561 music broadcasts from there. We still might be doing that. I'm not sure. It's been shelved a little bit, but we might get back to the idea. Yeah, so you've been going about since August. Played a bit. How often would you say you play?
We have a bunch of gigs coming up here in February, but probably before that, it would be once every couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we're slowly getting more.
Yeah,
Is the plan to
February
get
and March
a lot?
looks thick.
Right.
You know?
Nice.
Yeah. We're booked out through April now, right? We're into April at least?
Yes.
There we go.
Nice.
We would like to play at least once every weekend.
Yeah. Cool.
That would be.
Is it all
good for
original
us.
stuff or?
We do play a lot of originals. We do have covers too, but we play mainly originals.
So when you guys play out, it's the 30 or 45 minute set or something. It's not you guys don't do a full 3-hour night or anything, do you?
We haven't done a 3-hour night yet, but we do have a 2-hour gig coming up at Guanabana's in March. So I'm super stoked for that. That's one of my favorite venues to
And so
play
you just
at,
do a sprinkling of covers throughout it.
Yes.
Maybe 1%. Say if you do 2 hours, if you were hypothetically to break it up into 2 sets, you might find 1 cover in each set.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I think that that it's a good idea to play a couple of covers. I mean, when Killbillies play, I'd like to say we do 50-50, but we don't. We play more. We play slightly more covers than originals, which is.
Well, depending on the venue, I think is where we decide how many covers we're going to do or not.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, if you're playing
some
a bar,
venues,
sometimes people want to be able to sing along. Like
Yeah,
that's what you call like
exactly.
a Bob Marley tune, right?
yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, just as long as you're doing it for a reason and not just because you're lazy, it's fine.
Yeah, no,
I
of
can't
course.
say that we're always just doing it for a reason. Sometimes
Yeah.
it is because we're lazy.
Some venues want you to solely play covers, so we've had to learn more covers so we can get more gigs. But ideally, we have a lot of originals, so we like to play those.
I think I have
Nice.
more fun playing originals, you know?
Absolutely.
Getting our songs out there.
Yeah.
You know where you guys would do well? Have you played at Tiki 52 yet in DeQuesta?
So I just visited that place like 2 weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah.
And it was pretty tight.
Yeah.
I'd never been there before, and I think it just popped up like as a Facebook ad or something. And I was like, "What the hell? Let's go check it out." And it was
Yeah.
dope. And
Yeah.
the band that was playing there at the time was playing all covers, so I didn't know if that's what they expected. I mean, and I was also hearing a lot of classic rock. I mean, it was like a lot of Eagles and
It's a little
stuff
bit,
like
it's
that.
a little bit of everything. They get different kinds of bands, and then they get reggae bands that we play there.
Play there, yeah.
Okay, so I
quite
really didn't know what to
frankly,
expect,
If you've played the whole thing with a bunch of covers, I don't think anyone would bat. I mean, with a bunch of originals, I don't think anyone would bat an eyelid. Just as long as
Yeah.
you could fill the time and you were enjoyable, you know.
Yeah.
It's like you're more like background music at those kind of places, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you also have the opportunity in that situation, especially as an original band, to turn it into a real gig. I feel like the cool thing about those kind of gigs, and the people in the bars definitely would like you to do this because it bring more people in. The cool thing about those kind of gigs is even though, yes, technically the background music thing is a big part of it, it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
you
if
can
you
engage,
bring people,
yeah.
if you bring a bunch of people and you have good sound and you can totally turn it into a real gig yourself. you
Yeah,
know?
of course.
Yes, and I think that's one of the things. I was struggling to define what it was about South Florida that I like in terms of playing down here and things. And even though a lot of these gigs are technically kind of that sort of wallpaper type of a gig, at least there's somewhere to play, and it doesn't have to be that, you know.
Yeah.
If you can pack it with a bunch of your friends and turn it into a real gig, then you know.
There's a lot of places that we play. There's a lot of places that we play that nobody even like they don't care if we play covers versus originals versus covers. Like we play our covers
Yeah.
everywhere, and nobody cares that we. I mean, not that they don't care that we're playing them, but I'm just saying.
No, yeah, no one cares if we play our
but they
originals,
enjoy
no.
them just same as the covers.
Yeah.
I can't.
I think we're a little bit of an anomaly, though, because I think a lot of the covers that we play, people don't know anyway.
don't even know that they're
That's
covers.
what I'm saying. So, like, if they don't know the music you're playing anyways, then they're not going to know if it's an
Well,
original or a
don't
cover.
know they probably don't know the original songs, and we don't play them like the original songs anyway. So it really just sounds like a whole bunch of originals.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I think that's partly why we get away with playing a few covers, is because they don't sound like covers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just sound like our
Yeah.
music. So, I don't know. I think we're in a little bit of our own, like,
Around the
Category.
world.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
There's
guys
not-
definitely have a unique sound.
Well, interesting. Your style. Your songs have that feeling of like you feel like you've heard it before. They're very, very kind of
Familiar.
Yeah, they have this kind of comfy, nostalgic, familiar thing about them.
She's got this gift for writing like what I call like earworms. Like she'll create a melody and sing it, and it's like I've heard this melody before, and now it's stuck in your head all damn day.
Yeah.
And the problem is I'm too busy playing, so I can't hear her lyrics. So all I hear is and that's in my head all day long. So I don't even know the words.
Yeah, man.
It's just that melody,
It-
and that's catchy. That's the way you write a hit. you
Yeah,
know?
for sure. Just having that ability to have the thing that just goes around and around your head is, some people have it. That's for sure. On my best days, I feel like I have it, but not every day. But that's awesome that you have that. And I would agree, listening to the songs, I'm like, yeah, the melodies are super catchy and stuff. It's awesome. And the chord progressions are familiar. And not in a bad way, in a way where it's, you hear it and it feels right, feels familiar. So, I guess my point of bringing that up is, you could play a bunch of your originals and people would probably be like us. People would think that they,
Yeah, of
They,
course.
they just assume they've heard it before somewhere.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
don't know
Yeah,
where.
Totally. So, have you been recording much?
We have been recording. We have 3 songs out right now. I kind of have been going through different producers, trying to find who I like the best. But right now, we are recording a song called Dark Road with Ricky.
Yeah. Okay. He played me a mix of it. It's badass. I didn't want to bring him up in case I wasn't allowed to talk about it.
You can talk about it.
I had the mix, and it was banging. It was huge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Ricky a lot. He's a great guy.
Yeah, and he's a good. The good thing about Ricky is that he would never be doing something and not putting his all into it. It's just not what he's like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't think he
100%.
would do anything he doesn't believe in either.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's special to get to work with him, and I'm excited to see what he comes up with. We're releasing that song on February 22nd, so 2/22.
Nice.
So stay tuned for that one.
So that one that I had, that's cool. It's expansive, man. It's like it's just all these pads and everything. People are going to like it.
Nice ballad.
Yeah, totally. So how did you kind of land on this style? Like, what kind of influences do you have and stuff like that? Like, why did you decide to be a reggae band?
I mean, I love reggae music in general. I love Bob Marley, Sublime. My favorite is Ayater, even though they decided to stop touring. But
where did you first hear reggae? Can you remember?
Where I first?
Are you from Florida?
I am from Florida.
So you just grew up with it around you?
Yeah. Well, I actually grew up listening to country music, actually.
Okay.
But I don't remember where I first listened to reggae, to be honest. I think it was Revolution, though.
Okay.
All kinds of different reggae influences, to be honest. But I listen to all kinds of music. Reggae is just what I am able to play at this moment in time. But we don't want to be like stuck to one specific genre. Like, we have an emo song we're going to come out with. Erica
It is a flashback to like 2006. It's kind of nutty.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miss Erica writes a lot of our indie tunes.
Cool.
So yeah, we got a little mix of different genres.
Absolutely, and
Mad Mellow. Yeah.
I have heard the different styles of it. But I would say in general, when it's kind of flowing over, there's this island-y sort of vibe to it. And it's good stuff, man. I've loved reggae ever since I was a little kid. My mum used to play me. Do you know who UB40 are?
Yes.
So my mum used to play me this UB40 tape in the 80s in the car going to school when I was like, 8 or 9 years old, and ever since then I loved reggae. She used to play me Bob Marley too. My mum was cool. Sometimes I look back and I'm like, you were cool, Mum.
It's hard to grow up in Florida and not like reggae, though. I mean, reggae and or country are like the two. Like,
yeah, of course.
If you grew up in Florida, that's what you listen to.
Yeah. I feel like in England, reggae has a very different flavor than it does in the US, in the sense that it's almost like darker and a little bit more politically charged.
Okay.
And it feels more like it's kind of part of the punk scene in a way.
Really?
It doesn't have that kind of. Sometimes here, not all the time. There's some great reggae over here, but sometimes I feel like it's kind of like Palm Tree and a Mai Tai type music. You know what I mean? But then there's also like there is also the good reggae here. But it's hard to explain what I mean. There's just a darker side to it.
I think a lot of Floridians like the feel-good reggae because we're, by the beach, we're on the sand. We just want to chill with like a mimosa or something.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
A coconut with an umbrella in it.
Yeah.
Totally, man. All right, so you're recording with Ricky. Where are you doing that? Is that does he have a studio? I'm not really sure.
He's working with Love Potion Studios.
Oh, okay.
So that's where we're doing Dark Road.
Where did you do the previous singles? So right now, you have I Am Worthy, Energy Exchange, and Serenity out on.
Yes. So Energy Exchange, we actually recorded with our drummer, Devon Marik. He has an at-home studio, so we did that one there. And then the I Am Worthy and Serenity were at Saturn. I can't even remember the
Downtown
name.
West Palm Beach?
No, it's in Boynton. Saturn Studios, something like that.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. You're
No, you're okay. I just can't. I feel bad. I can't remember the exact name of it.
We'll look it up and we'll put it in the show notes.
Okay, cool. It's with Matt Huntsberger. I don't know if you guys know him. It's his studio.
No, gotcha. Okay. Well, I'll look it up after this, just so we can be sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So when it comes to songwriting, do you have a process, or does it just kind of?
I kind of just get an idea and it comes to me and I write it within a very short amount of time.
Do you write the melody and the words at the same time?
It really just depends. Like sometimes I'll be messing around on the uke and come up with a melody and then I'll come up with lyrics, but sometimes I just write a bunch of lyrics and then come up with a melody. Yeah. So it's kind of both ways, I guess.
I think the process is really different for all of us, you know what I mean? We're all right, you know? I've written tunes that have been polar from the stuff they've written, you know what I mean?
What's
the one
process,
tune
man?
that we play a lot, that's the one we usually start our sets with. I was at Guanabanas, there was a reggae fest going on, and I heard like a half a measure. It was like a syncopation and like note choice, like an interval, and I was like, I like that. I mean, it was seriously like 4 notes, the way it was syncopated and the specific interval that he played just like stuck in my head.
Yeah.
And I watched the rest of the festival, went home and wrote that whole tune based off of that.
100% know
you know
what
I mean? Like it was just boom, you know?
You know, something which is kind of a similar way of writing is someone once told me like to listen to your own band out of context and then or listen to your band live and then just write a song based on how you feel that sounds, because it never sounds like what you think it does. Like when you play live, you have a totally different energy than when you're just kind of trying to write a song in your room. That worked really good for Killbillies and for my old band Sonic Boom 6, was just to hear like bits of like a tune out of context, like kind of start it halfway through it or something like that, and then listen to it and be like, oh, that sounds awesome. And then I don't know, and then I've ended up writing some cool tunes that way. The other thing as well about that kind of chord choice and the interval choice, I did that with Dominic Delaney not that long ago.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. This kind of this 6th interval, and he was doing a certain chord change. And I think, do you remember that when that came over to Hector? And
I saw one today that blew my mind. It seemed like such an odd chord choice, and I was literally just like watching YouTube, and I'm watching this guy. He played 2 chords. It was an E major to a B flat augmented minor. And I was like, that doesn't work. And then I started playing it. I'm like, somehow this works.
Right.
And I was like, oh, this is inspiration. Like this is something very odd. It was Frank Gambale, by the way. It was
gotcha.
It's funny. We have the conversation all the time about theory versus non-theory,
right?
You know, and Ben's got like all the theory in the world, and I have zero, like none. I just play by ear.
That's kind of like us.
And so it's funny. It's funny. Like same thing will happen to us. Like Ben will write something or whatever, and and it works and it's wonderful, and people like that, they have that theory, they do these things, but then like someone like me will come up with something and you're just like, how does that work? It's not supposed to work, but it does. So it's nice to have that, especially like you guys also have that combination of someone who has theory, somebody who doesn't, and it's nice to have that, because you don't always have to play by the rules,
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, like E major is like what, off the top of my head, 4 sharps, I think, and then like B flat, that's the other side of the spectrum for your circle of fifths, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to see like a B flat alt over top of like an E major chord, I was just like, this is nonsense. Only Frank Gambale would come up with this.
Yeah, man.
And then like
I was
like,
want
wait
to
a minute,
grab a guitar right now and listen to it and just play the chords. But
really
we're gonna have to do that in the break. I'm very, because I can't hear that. I can't just like ping that
it was
up in my
the
head.
specific voicing though. I really got to show you how he like played that E to the B flat alt. Like,
gotcha.
It was the voicing that helped. Definitely.
Very nice.
The best part of this
See, I have no idea what he's talking about.
I have zero theory, so I have no idea what you just said to Ben.
Yeah,
I was like, I had no idea what he's talking about.
I'm right there with you. I'm like, yeah, okay, sure, we'll go with that.
Somehow this all works.
Yeah,
together.
that has 4 sharps in it. Sure. I have no idea.
This actually leads really beautifully into talking about you guys' kind of musical upbringing. Like, and I think, seeing as we were chatting, why don't we start with you, Devon? How did you get into music, and what have you had any kind of musical education?
All right. Yes, both of the. I can answer both those questions, but they're both a little long. So
That's
if you're down
fine.
to just listen, I'll talk.
Yeah,
All
do
right.
it, man.
So this starts when I was like a tot. I mean, I was like 4 or 5 years old, and I was hanging out with my dad, and he played ZZ Top, and like my face lit up, And I was like, this is the coolest shit I've ever heard in my entire life. ZZ Top is awesome. And I was obsessed. And then when I was 8, my dad bought me ZZ Top tickets for a casino, like a casino show in Atlantic City for Christmas. It was a Christmas gift. And so I'm stoked to go. So the day the show finally comes, right? He tells me to go upstairs and get dressed for the show. And I come down in a neon green and yellow safety vest. Yeah. You know? And he goes, what the hell are you wearing? And I was like, so they can see me. And he's like, all right, kid, whatever. I don't care. So he takes me. We go to the casino. And we got third row tickets. All right? So we get there. The show starts. The 3 of them come out. Right? And I'm standing on my seat and I'm clapping. And they play like 2 or 3 songs straight, no breaks. Right? And then finally, the applause dies down. They take a break. And I can see Billy Gibbons walking up to the microphone. And I scream on the top of my lungs, where are all the girls? And he goes, and he looks right at me and makes eye contact with me. And he goes, well, son, I guess we're playing legs. And like 20 broads came out. Oh, and wow. It was nuts. And I looked at my dad and I was like, I want to do that one day. And he goes, okay. And the very next day we went to a place called Music Central, right? So I walk into Music Central and there's a guy sitting there just shredding on this guitar. And it turned out to be Merritt Gant, the lead guitar player for Overkill.
Oh, wow.
And I said, he goes, well, we got to pick you out a guitar. And I'm watching Merritt Gant, so I go, I want that one. And Merritt's like, sorry, bud, I own this one. But, when they ended up finding me a guitar, and I got signed up with lessons. And I took private lessons for a very long time, even when I started teaching. I started teaching in 2008, and I was still taking private lessons for another 2 years. So I've been teaching, since 2008. I don't even know how many years that is now. It's 2024, 16 years. I've been playing for 24. So,
sick, dude.
Yeah, I took every music class available in high school. I had a minor in music in one of my 2 degrees at college.
Yeah,
like I've been in it to win.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's all. I did a music degree as well. I'm sure we have a lot to talk about. Yeah, probably be kind of a boring conversation.
Yeah, at the end of the
day. That's cool. What about you, Erica? How did you get into music?
Yeah, well, I started taking piano lessons. I didn't want to when I was a kid, so my parents kind of forced me into it. But I ended up like really falling in love with it and like actually like sitting down and practicing. So, I did that in high school, I think. And then once I graduated high school, I like kind of went away from music. I wasn't really focused on that because I was like, I need to go get like a real job and stuff. And well, that was kind of lame, but I did.
No, I think that's the terrible tragedy of many people who should have started earlier. Life is like, you think you have to. I don't know, it sucks. You don't have to. Not, like the problem with having a plan B is it means you don't believe in plan A, You just got to go for it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't really like believe in myself when I was in high school. I was like, I kind of started late, like doing piano. So I was kind of like, I'm never going to be good enough to like play a show or whatever.
Sure.
So, I ended up coming back to it because, I was following a lot of bands in like the local scene, and I was just like, you know what, I could do this.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, just like watching other people play, I was like, even if I'm not that good, I can, do something. Like I can write a song. Yeah. So I started playing bass about 2 years ago, just because I love the bass. It's just an awesome instrument.
I've only been playing it for 2 years. Wow, that's amazing. You'd never know.
She's awesome.
She's such a pocket player, bro. I brag about her to everybody I work with.
Yeah, man.
I'm like, you're good at bass, but I have Erica Mason.
Yeah, but it's been a journey. Like, and Emily actually hit me up like a year into playing bass. She's like, you still play bass, right? Do you want to make a band with me? And I'm just like, I almost said no.
Really?
Yeah. Because I was like,
the truth's coming out
I was like too
I
afraid.
think now is the appropriate time to tell you that I almost said no because I don't like you.
I was like so nervous to like ever go on stage or like perform in like even just like a small room. I was like, I'm never gonna like do that. So I almost said no, but I was like, you know what? It'll make me a better player. So I'll just say yes.
There you go. Bravery came through.
It's a confidence.
Yeah, at that point, we didn't have any like gigs or anything booked. It was literally just us two in her living room. So it was like more like we were practicing to better ourselves. And then finally we're like, okay, I think we got this. So we found it. First we found the drummer, and we did have a guitarist for a little bit, but she didn't want to commit to like doing gigs. For some reason she didn't want to gig. So then we found Devon over here.
What about you, Emily? How did you wind up playing music?
So I never started like at a young age with playing instruments, but I was always involved with music like in other ways. Like I danced for 12 years, so it was like more movement with music than playing music.
You want to specify dance?
Ballet, jazz, tap, hip hop.
We thought it was interpretive.
No, he's probably making a dirty joke. But so like hip hop, modern, jazz, tap, all the different forms of dance. So I did that from 6 to like 18. And then about 5 years ago is when I got my first ukulele. And I really just learned off YouTube. I just like
A lot of people
Googled
did.
songs that I wanted to learn and started learning that way. And
yeah, it works. You know, like, I mean, I think with certain finer points of technique and things, you don't necessarily get it off YouTube. But I think, you know, ukulele, you can learn that off YouTube for sure.
I did take some lessons for a short period of time with Chris Cobb from The People Upstairs.
Right.
But other than that, it was mainly YouTube. I did get up with, like, you know, some local bands and, like, get practice that way, just, like, jamming with them. But,
like, spread the dub and stuff.
Spread the dub.
I was just talking to Hunter about that a couple of weeks ago. I was unaware that you used to do that. It was cool. Awesome.
I got up with them quite a bit, actually. And a couple other bands from out of town that I just know, like, that I'm friends with.
Sure.
But, yeah.
Wicked. And then slowly but surely it's like...
It evolved to me... Well, I got up at a lot of open jams, too.
Yeah.
Like, that was a lot of good practice. That's actually where I met Erica, was at, Joey Tenuto's open jams?
Yeah,
Nice.
Crazy Uncle Mike's.
Once you've had a bit of a taste of it, it's, you know, you from that point on, you're just figuring out a way to make it happen.
Yeah, kind of like Erica, though. Like, I doubted myself for a long time, and then every time I went to open jams, they're like, you're so good. So I was like, okay, maybe I can actually do this. So that's when I contacted her, and we kind of just, like, it's history from there, I guess.
Yeah.
In my living room being like, does this sound good? What are we doing?
Like, are we waking the neighbors?
Well, listen, I think now's a good time to listen to you guys play a few tunes. I think you got 3 for us, is that right?
Yes.
All right.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
All right.
The sun shining in your eyes. Finally, I don't wanna go running hide. It's great to have you by my side on this wild ride. Sweet taste of your lips when you lean in to give me a kiss. I don't know what could be better than this. It's pure bliss. What an energy exchange. Just the sound of your name takes me to a higher place. Babe, I wanna lay my claim, flowing at a steady pace.
see that I've made up all my problems in hindsight. Ooh, drowning at the far end of the deep. Ooh, calm inside though I can barely breathe. Ooh, capsized shipwrecks lost beyond belief. But somehow this all feels so comforting. Lavender clouds and amber shrouds surround me while I'm sleeping. Sing me a lullaby and remind me that I'm dreaming. Tell me a secret, read me a bedtime story where the princess dissolves into space, gets lifted away from all her little regrets. Ooh, drowning at the far end of the deep. Ooh, calm inside though I can barely breathe. Ooh, capsized shipwrecks lost beyond belief. But somehow this all feels so comforting. Ooh, drowning at the far end of the deep. Ooh, calm inside though I can barely breathe. Ooh, capsized shipwrecks lost beyond belief. But somehow this all feels so comforting.
Woo, give it up for the egg shaker.
We have a rather special sponsorship this week. My friend Stu, who I know from Round and About in Jupiter, has an Instagram page, which is at Stu Says. So at STEWSAYS. And it is really just for dog lovers. Stu loves dogs, and he has an Instagram page which is just dedicated to the dogs that he meets on his travels. So you should go check it out. There's some really nice pictures of dogs on there, and become part of Stu's dog-loving community. I couldn't think of a more wholesome thing for us to be advertising, really. He is a supporter and a friend of the show, and he wanted to help us get our message out there, and we could give him this in return. It's just us letting you guys know that you can go and see beautiful pictures of dogs on Instagram at Stu Says. I've just been surfing through all the pictures and there's some really cute pictures of dogs on there. I'm going to show some up on the screen now. Yeah, man, go check it out. Stu is a legend. He's one of the nicest people I know, and his Instagram is just a delight. He couldn't have picked a better podcast, really. My band is called Nina's Yard Party, which is named after my dog. And if you listen really carefully, you could probably hear my dog barking in the background. I'm a big dog lover. One more time, it's www.instagram.com/Stu Says. STEWSAYS. It's the end of the year and it's time to get those taxes done. We all hate doing it, but it's just something that needs to get done. You can call Mary at Harmony Management Group and she'll make it as painless as possible for you. For the past several years, Mary has become the go-to accountant for the scene's musicians and artists, and really any small business. Need help? Give her a call today at 561-420-5652 or visit harmonymanagementgroup.com. Now, I can personally say that Mary is an absolutely wonderful accountant and she understands firsthand the world of artists and musicians. She's been a huge help to Killbillies, and we are so proud to have her as a sponsor because she really cares about the local music scene and the local art scene. If you need help with the paperwork side of any small business, Mary has got your back. Again, the way to get in touch with her is 561-420-5652, or you can visit harmonymanagementgroup.com. We are also sponsored by Oasis Root. Now, Oasis Root Carver Bar is in Seagrape Square on Indian Town Road, and it is a carver bar. If you don't know anything about carver, it's a Polynesian root that you grind up and you mix with water, and it has been in Polynesia for potentially thousands of years. It's an old thing that they used for kind of ceremonial and also sort of leisure purposes. It's meant to be something where, you know, that brings people together. You all take a shell of carver and chink them together and say bula and have it together like that. It's meant to be something to bring people together. It's has a kind of an effect which is, I guess, a kind of a slightly warming effect. It just kind of makes you feel nice. It's not particularly intoxicating. It's not like drinking alcohol. So the atmosphere in a carver bar is sort of like a cross between a regular bar and a coffee house. It's pretty chill in there. You get all sorts of different types of carver bars. Some of them are more like a club, you know, there's sort of like blacklight and EDM playing, and some of them are more like a cafe. This is one of the cafe type of ones. It's super chill in there. If you're looking for somewhere to, I don't know, maybe go and do some work on your laptop or go and have a chat with friends, it's perfect for that kind of thing. There's a foosball table in there if that's your jam, or baby foot as they call it in France. And yeah, Jim, the owner, is a really cool guy, and he has very kindly sponsored our podcast. So thank you very, very much for that, Jim. They also do a poker night in there, all sorts of things going on at Oasis Root Carver Bar. 561 Music is sponsored by Live Music Community. It's where we film the podcast that you're listening to right now, and it's also where I work. Gavin, Hector's son, was a student here for a long time, and in many ways he's the musician he is today because of the teachers at Live Music Community. We taught him not only about his instrument, but also about being in a band, and his band, Unemployed Youth, accomplished a lot of goals, mostly band etiquette, how to work together, and all of the nitty-gritty that goes into being in a band on a day-to-day basis. The student signs up for lessons, learns their instrument, joins a real band, and decides the direction it goes in. And we can take people from very young age, 6 or 7 years old, all the way up to 80. There's no age limit here. We run an adult program for people who want to be in a band as adults, but really the main focus is on the kids and getting them playing together and in bands. We are also a studio, a live stream venue, and we can record audio or video. The Killbillies live album, Warts and All, was recorded here. It was recorded during a live stream that we did during COVID. Justin had a great idea to record live streams during COVID. A ton of bands came in, and it was a real success. But outside of that, we can record albums, we can help you with your EPK, and we have full audio-visual capabilities here. LMC is in Palm Beach Gardens on the northwest corner of Military Trail and North Lake Boulevard. It's north of the gas station right before you get to North Lake on Military Trail. And if you go to livemusiccommunity.com, you have all the information you'll need right there. All right, so we just listened to an ad for Live Music Community. Could you give us a little bit of advice for upcoming musicians, please?
I would say just follow your heart. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do anything you want to do.
Yeah.
So keep your eye on the prize. Don't let anybody discourage you.
Follow your heart. I had someone call me up a couple of days ago, and he was asking should he try and do music for the the people in the scene would like it and stuff. I just said to him, dude, if you don't end up becoming ludicrously famous, at least you will have the music you wanted to make if you follow what you think is awesome. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I think it's like 100%. And also, people can tell if you're phoning it in a little bit,
Yeah.
You got to care about it.
There's always going to be more people that have something negative to say than people that are going to root for you. So
Yeah, sure.
True.
No matter what you do in life.
In fact, you're
gotta
doing
be your
well if you've
biggest
got
fan.
haters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be your own biggest fan.
Yeah, 100%, man. What was that phrase that they always used to say in AA? Think a lot of yourself, just don't think of yourself a lot. I think it was something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense, though.
Yeah, totally. I liked it.
A lot of the time you can get stuck in your head. I definitely get stuck in my head.
I think we all do.
So.
I just live in my head.
My mother used to say I had a rich inner life.
Oh, well, then I'm very rich.
Have any of you guys got... Erica, do you have any advice for upcoming musicians?
I think it goes along the lines of what Emily said, but just do it. If you love it, just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I spent a lot of time just like writing songs in my bedroom, thinking like nobody would ever care or like listen to them. But now it's like I'm making songs with these guys, and I love doing it.
We love her songs, by the way.
Yeah, they're out there in the world. Isn't that a wonderful thing,
it's
man?
Weird.
Congratulations. That's super cool. Devon, you got any advice?
Yeah, I do. It's a little biased, but I'm just going to be honest here. I think you should definitely learn your instrument, whatever it is. Like, understand it, truly.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's one thing I pound in my students' head. I've been doing it for 16 years.
Sure.
Is learn your fretboard. You should know every note on your fretboard, right? As soon as you understand that, the whole thing unlocks itself to you. You know what I mean? You understand the intervals. You can hear a melody in your head and immediately find it if you know your instrument,
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, with guitar, it's a very visual instrument, whereas, like, a brass or a woodwind, it's not necessarily, I actually was talking to a horn player, and he goes, yeah, I think of music, like, in a linear line based on pitch and like where I need to be to hit those pitches. So like I have this, whereas I don't think of it that way because there's like a visual component to an interval on a guitar.
Sure.
So like I think of it that way and what I hear in my head. But I digress. Learn your instrument, understand its function and where the notes are, right? And the rest of it will come. Also, get your fundamentals down early. I mean, if you can get them down early, it becomes so much easier to learn and play anything you want.
Yeah,
I found that too. Like, I don't want to sound conceited or anything, but there's generally nothing I can't play. It's just how long is it going to take me to learn it?
Sure.
Because I have a fundamental understanding of the instrument.
Yeah.
And you can reach a point like that very early in your career if you do the work up front.
Yeah. No, 100%. I agree. And something you were talking about there with, because I play the saxophone and the guitar, but I started on the saxophone. And for a long time, I used to play guitar solos in a very linear way because I'd learned it from the sax. And when I started playing with this guy, Micah Scott, who's a really, really good guitar player, and he really kind of opened my eyes to the fact that rather than kind of thinking like horizontally like that, you got to kind of think vertically on the guitar. Like it's a totally different understanding.
That's absolutely crazy because to push myself out of that, typical guitar player box, I started listening and emulating to more sax lines.
Yeah.
So I used to play more sax shit, and that's when I got into bebop jazz. I mean, when I was like, 16 maybe.
Yeah.
And I got obsessed with everyone from Charlie Parker, who basically started bebop, to Coltrane, Cannonball Adderley, but I mean, my all-time favorite player is Miles Davis. I mean, he's the GOAT when it comes to music.
Yeah. Sure.
And trying to emulate that is tough as a guitar player.
I have the Charlie Parker Omnibook, and I can play quite a lot of it on the sax, but I definitely tried to play some of it on the guitar too. It was a lot of fun.
I just picked up Donna Lee for the first time in 12 years. I found an old transcription. The pages were yellow. And I was like, oh shit, I remember I used to play this. Yeah. I picked it up. I started working on it yesterday.
Nice fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been looking for some interesting new bluegrass licks, and I was listening to some of the better players, and then I was reading, people like Tony Rice are influenced by players like John Coltrane. And then I was like, that's how you get outside of the box of bluegrass, is just play jazz, basically.
Well, if you can follow your chord changes, man.
Yeah, exactly. No, because I played the sax, I played quite a lot of jazz, but because what else are you going to play on the sax?
Bruce Springsteen.
He's got a point.
On the guitar, I'm no jazz expert, but I've certainly worked at it.
Oh, neither am I. I mean, I've spent tons of years studying it, but two things. Number one, I'm actually not that great at jazz. Number two, I had my old jazz mentor, and he told me, he goes, you never say that you're an expert in jazz, you're always a student of it. And the other thing is like, you never know who you're talking to. There might be a bigger fish in the room. And he was a monster. I mean, this guy played for everybody. I mean, he shared the stage with like Dizzy Gillespie and like Wynton Marsalis, and he was in the Illinois Jacket, and I mean, he's played with everybody. So
that's super cool.
Like, he was definitely a big fish.
Oh yeah. So, could you give us a little bit of information about the lyrical content of the songs you just played us? Like, what are they about?
Okay, so we started with energy exchange. It's kind of about no one in particular, but like kind of like finding like a love interest and that kind of energy that's exchanged between the two people. Yeah. So that one I wrote in like 30 seconds, so it's not really, there's no like deep meaning behind that one. Gotcha. It just kind of came to me. Sure. It actually was about like an interaction between two other people. It wasn't even like me.
So more of a feeling, like
more like a general feeling of like love.
Sure.
And Serenity, that's actually the second song I've ever written. First song we released. Serenity is kind of about like I came out of a bad breakup, and it was kind of about like finding myself again and finding like peace of mind, and I found that within like going to the beach, and like that's why it says like going down to the beach and like relaxing and
cool. Good stuff.
Far End is by her, so you'd have to ask her about the Far End.
What was that one about?
Sure. Far End was kind of weird to write because I was just in a weird state of my life. I got laid off like 6 months ago, so I just like, this was a job I was working for like 7 years.
So it's quite a new song then.
Yeah.
Cool.
I wrote it a couple of months ago, and I was just kind of feeling like lost and like unsure of myself, but at the same time, it's around the time when we started like playing together, and I was just like, like maybe this was supposed to happen so I could just get the time to play music and like take time to focus on that. So it was really a song about being lost, capsized, shipwrecked, lost beyond belief, but somehow this all feels so comforting. Like,
sure.
That was kind of like the message, or the feeling was just being lost, but also feeling like you're right where you're supposed to be.
Sure, the excitement of change and yeah. That's awesome. So I grabbed a couple of pictures of a couple of Devon's pedals. Why don't we take a look at those? So tell us about the Tube Screamer, Devon.
This thing's a classic. I think everybody I know has one of these on their board.
Yep.
I knew this was like a go-to pedal for me. It's my main drive. I usually, 9 times out of 10, I'm just using it to like boost myself for a solo. I usually play clean.
Yeah.
But for like Far End, right? I definitely like take that gain knob and turn it down, but I use it to give it a little bit of crunch, kind of fatten out those chords, because it's such a fun jam, truthfully.
Sure.
If you see us play it live, like the videos like from Guanabanas is a great video.
I've seen it, yeah.
The back and forth between like me and the drummer, and then like the keys player holding down these fat, airy chords, pad chords, or whatever you want to call it, and then she's got that driving bass line, and then the dual vocals, which are truly dreamy. I sent that video to some friends of mine. I'm like, this is going to sound really crazy. I'm like a part of like a group chat of like guitar Illuminati around the country. So
cool.
like I sent that out, and I was like getting responses from like LA and Chicago and New York and Philadelphia and places around, and they're like, yo, that shit's fire. Like you could play that anywhere here and it would be a hit. And
man.
The vocals were the first thing they all mentioned, and especially her. They called her the triple threat because it's sexy, silky, and sultry the way she sings. So yeah, but again, back to the pedal. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I love This Is My Main Drive. I know Mike uses one. My friend Mike Gruley, he's got one on his board. My other friend Steve Volante's got one.
I have one too. I have that white one, the one that has like the little tube in it, like that. I can't remember what it's called. It's like the newer one. It's like hang on, I'll tell you what it's called.
If it's come through the shop, maybe, I don't know.
Screamer with tube in it. It is called. Here it is. This is the one I have. It has the tube screamer I've got actually has a tube in it. Check it out.
Oh,
Yo, that's gnarly.
sick.
Yeah.
Well, I got a tube amp that I'm obsessed with that everybody else seems to hate because it's so damn loud.
Oh no, I think it's a nice amp.
Well, it is. But
It is very loud though.
It's obnoxiously loud. I had it on 4 at our last gig, and our sound tech came down and pushed it to like 3.5, and I was not mic'd up.
It's so difficult not to turn yourself up when you're a guitarist. I can totally relate.
Yeah.
I
don't think I've ever put that thing over 5, and I have never.
What is it?
It's the I think it's the Blues Deluxe, the Fender Blues Deluxe.
Nice.
It goes to 12. So, fuck Spinal
Yeah.
Tap. They go to 11. I go to 12.
Yeah.
And I haven't put it over 5. I've never been mic'd up any gig we've ever played.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
usually at about 3 for practice.
Yeah.
And we're even like, wow, that's loud.
Yeah.
I find myself
have you
going
ever
over
messed
and
around with
turning
an
it up anyway.
attenuator?
I have not.
It just got basically you can between the amp and the speaker you can put this thing in which just it reduces the volume, so it means you can turn the amp up more and get the tubes hotter and get more of the grit at a lower volume. They're really useful.
Oh, that's interesting. You know
Yeah,
what?
man.
Yeah, now that you mention, I think I had a talk with my tech about that.
Yeah.
That's starting to sound like it rings a bell.
Yeah, they're really cool. I just got one actually. I hadn't really used them before, but I got one about 6 months ago, and I dig it because you can really crank the amp so you get that.
Well, I do
break
like
up.
my cleans though, so I don't want to play lower with crunch. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
fair.
I'm really looking for like that crisp, clean. Like I like the overtones to bloom when I strum a chord. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't know from the recording I was playing the acoustic, but that first song, Energy Exchange, I'm basically playing like whole notes. You know what I
Sure.
mean? But like when I play through my electric, which we should talk about at some point. Through that amp, like it'll sustain, and as it rings, you start hearing those overtones, and it just blossoms into like such a wide sound.
I love the thought of the harmonics blooming. That's
the way I hear them. That's
Yeah,
I mean, that's
I
the
love
only
it.
adjective I can come up with.
No, it's perfect. We have another pedal up here. Why don't we bring that one up? So
Aw,
tell me a
dude.
little bit about this bad boy.
All right, there's like 9 or 10 different delay options on that bottom right knob.
Yeah.
I'm big on the tape delay, so I generally play around with that.
Sure.
Then you got your feedback and effects level, which you can just adjust based on whatever you're feeling. And then that top left is really like the rate of delay,
Sure.
but it's also coupled with that switch. So like in the top position, it's quarter note. In the middle, it's an eighth. And I haven't messed around with the third position much. I think it's kind of like either
Like slapback, like fast.
I don't know. I think it's more of like a swung eighth. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because of the way it looks like 2 notes tied. I don't know. I haven't played with it. But I usually throw it on tape delay because I'm like, some of that old school reggae, like.
I feel you, dude.
You know what I mean?
I have
Like-
a El Capistan. I've got a delay pedal too, and it's a tape delay emulator, and I'm all about it. And it's got an MXR one as well, which is a tape delay emulator. I just love tape delay. So one
Yeah.
time, we were recording like second or third album with this band Sonic Boom 60 used to be in, the producer brought in a real old tape delay, and it was kind of a beat up one, but in a good way, because it's like the amount of like white noise and craziness it produced when it was oh my word, it's so cool.
Yeah, I got a buddy in Millville, man, back in Jersey, and you should see his bedroom studio. Like, I mean, just for his own safety, I'm not going to say his name, but it's easy. He's probably got like $250,000 worth of gear in his bedroom, and it's all like antique, weird one-off stuff and like weird Moogs, and I mean, it's like a bed, and then just every wall is like a rack unit. You know
That's
what I mean?
Super cool, man.
With all types of synthesizers and delays, and it's obnoxious, man. It's
so if anyone
cool.
wants to buy me a real tape delay from like the 70s, knock yourselves out.
We had tape delay when we were doing the last album at Sun Studios.
Yeah, totally. It was really just like two tape recorders on top of each other, which is tape delay,
right?
But like the way that you can get it like in a pedal with like thinner tape.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. All right, yeah. So brilliant. Before we stop with talking about the gear, we don't have a picture of it, but tell us a little bit about your guitar, mate.
Oh yeah, okay. So what I'm currently playing live is it's a one of a kind. So I've been obsessed with this luthier. His name's Brian Moore since like 2006, and I don't really know when he stopped making guitars. I think it was right about then, like maybe 2003 or 4. But he was a boutique luthier out in New York, and he used to have a line called his CM1s. It was Custom Moore 1, and he made something like 11 or 12,000 custom built guitars.
Wow.
Yeah.
And each one he would sign his name on the back of the headstock and then handwrite the serial number. So if you get one that's with 5 serial numbers, at least you have like a custom shop, right?
Sure.
Then if you get 4, it's even rarer, and then 3 and so on. So other than that, he did have a factory line that put out 2 models out of Korea. Also very good guitars. I own 2 of them from the factory line.
Yeah.
But I got my hands on a CM1 serial number 509. It was built in 1994. It's got a matchbook flame maple top, a AAA bird's eye maple fingerboard, real abalone inlays. I got a Wilkinson trem on it, like floating trem. It's a humbucker, single coil humbucker. Both buckers split coil independently, and then I got a piezo in it.
Nice.
And then I can run just the electric, just the piezo, or run them together. And I can change the phase of the piezo.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing's like an all-in-one.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with it. Super fast, deep heel cuts. So, like, I can get to the 24th with no problem.
Yeah, sick.
I mean, that thing, the radius on that neck is, like, minimal. You know?
Nice, dude.
It fits right in my hand, because I got really small hands.
Yeah.
But, like,
as much as I hate to admit it, so do I.
I just
can relate.
I just told
measure
myself I
hand
wasn't going to let
sizes.
that hold me back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I found a way to just find instruments that feel better in my hands. That's why I don't
Totally.
like play Gibsons. It's like a baseball bat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally, man.
And they're heavier than hell. Like,
Yeah.
they weigh like a bowling ball. I can't have that around my neck. This Brian Moore's super light, super fast. The thing's killer. I do have pictures of that. In fact, my new profile picture I put up today has got a great shot of that guitar.
Nice.
That thing is, it's mint. It's in perfect condition. And I've done some research. I found, I think, 503 and 540. And 503 was going for $8,500, and 540 was going for $7,800. Neither of them had the piezo system, and both of them had regular trims, not like the Wilkinson floating trims. So I don't know where mine sits. I'm guessing around 8.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
And I didn't pay nearly that.
Hell yeah,
So-
that's super cool, man. I've got to have a go on it one day. I'm really curious.
Yeah,
I love
it's-
when a guitar player talks about the neck of the guitar being like too thick, and I'm playing an upright bass that basically has like a 4x4 and with
literally.
basically power lines. They're not strings.
Yeah, I played the upright in high school.
It's crazy.
And the thing is, I randomly picked it up. I told the string orchestra director going into the summer after my junior year that I wanted to try it. And he's like, all right, man, sure, whatever. I'll let you borrow one for the summer. So I spent 3 months learning how to play it. Came back. He expected to make me like the last upright player. So I was supposed to take like chair 3.
Yeah.
And halfway through the first quarter, I got moved up to chair 1, and then by the second semester, I had made all South Jersey Orchestra, and I did that in like 6 months.
So how big was this orchestra if they have multiple chairs and double basses?
So I went to a massive high school.
Gotcha.
Massive. My graduating class was like 1,300 kids.
Good Lord.
Yeah,
Okay.
so like my string orchestra was like, I don't know, 120.
We had,
Wow.
we
Mine
had
was
like
like
280
Mine was
or
like
something.
1,200 from Park Vista.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
When I
were
was
a lot.
13, I was in a year with 4 other people, and they were all girls.
Lucky you. Hey, my guy. That was a good year for you, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Is that where you
Anyway,
met Amy?
no, that was
Callback.
that was 2 years after.
It's a good
It was
callback. though.
excellent.
Just
All
leave
right,
that
yeah,
out.
cool. So, really, at this point,
What do they have going on?
oh yeah,
Yeah,
what
don't-
have you
don't ask
guys
me,
got going
ask
on?
them.
What's coming up?
Oh, for like gigs?
Yeah.
Anything, yeah.
Okay.
Anything. You got your single
on-
releasing at
Yes. So
222.
Dark Road will be released on February 22nd, 222. This song is different than like anything else we've released so far.
Nice.
So
Awesome.
So stay tuned for that. And we do have quite a few gigs coming up in February.
I got the list.
There you go.
February 1st, I believe, is
hold on.
Respectables. We're playing on the patio.
Nice.
And then February 10th, we are playing a Pluridian Festival, which is going to be at Bark Republic.
Nice.
We were playing at 5 p.m. After that, we are playing February 17th at Kahuna in Deerfield with Buck Stops Here.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're opening for them.
Love those guys.
On the 18th of February, we are going to be doing another Reggae Sundays at Northwood. So
That place is awesome.
we love that place. We actually
Yeah.
practice there. So that's like one of our favorite.
You practice there?
favorite
That's badass.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to have like a stage and like a back line and everything. So every
Yeah.
time you practice, it feels like a performance.
Yeah.
It makes like the performance anxiety kind of go out the window.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
And then on March 3rd, I am playing solo for the Sun Up Sound Clash Festival that they're having at Northwood that Nick from Holidays is putting together.
Okay,
Or he
cool.
has put together. Everything's pretty much set in stone now.
Excellent.
And then on March 20th, we just got the date for Guanas. So we're playing Guanabanas
Yeah.
again for our full 2-hour set.
You got a bunch of gigs coming up.
Yeah, and then on the
Badass.
30th, I don't know where we're playing.
I have no idea.
I have no idea
No
what's
idea.
happening that
no
day.
idea.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, have you,
What's happening on the 30th, guys?
Yeah, why don't you tell
March-
everyone
March
about
30th?
It? Yeah.
I'm probably on vacation, to be honest with you. At least I'm going to plan on being on vacation.
I've decided it's your role to do these bits in the podcast. So.
Oh, man. All right. I think
We are
it's
playing
a
the 561 Music
yeah,
Fest.
it's a little something we like to call
Woo!
561 Music Fest.
Yes.
And the lineup as it stands right now is Blab Scam, Young Fiction, Killbillies, 33 Lions, Little Things Duo, Suicide Bombers, At the Starlight, Exigent Band, Mad Mellow Music, Bear Maze, Killed by Florida, Butch and the Fat Dubes, Bitter Blue Jays, Zoo Peculiar, Mount Sinai, Andy Styron, Smoke Boss Militia, Billy Doom is Dead, and Brayton.
Yeah, man.
So,
Looking forward to it, man.
I don't know who I'm most excited about, but I got to tell you, this is probably my favorite. Like, I thought year 1 was awesome. I thought year 2 was even better. This is probably my favorite lineup so far.
Yeah,
Hell
I
yeah.
agree.
We are stoked to be on that lineup.
Yeah, this
so
is
we
a
really
hell-
appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thanks for
sure.
coming, man.
It's a hell
So
of a
Brayton is a young fella who I used to teach, and he's doing great. He's going on tour soon.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see
amazing.
that. Yeah,
What a legend.
I
I'm
think
excited to check him out.
Yeah.
I think he just played with. I'm not sure if it was
yeah,
that
it was at
Respectable
Respect,
show.
yeah,
Was it
yeah.
the Respectable show? Yeah, with Young Fiction.
Yeah.
yeah. It was the first time Gavin had seen him, and he was just came home saying nothing but good things.
Oh,
Yeah.
which band was he in?
He's just called Brayton.
Okay.
Yeah. He's really good though.
He has a band though, right? Yeah,
Yeah, I think he can pull off some kind of performance without one, but he does.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
so March 30th, Matthews Brewing, 561 Music Festival #3.
Yeah.
And 20 bands for $10.
Mhm.
Yep, 20 bands, $10. If you buy the general admission plus, if you will. You get for $25, you get a T-shirt and you get a ticket, which is saving you basically. You're getting a free ticket basically because if you come to the show, you buy the ticket, it's $10. You buy the shirt, it's $25. So,
exactly.
Yeah. So if you do it up front, you'll save the ticket price.
And I really like my 561 Music T-shirts. I wear them all the
Oh
time.
hell yeah, man! Hell yeah.
We're gonna have to get on those.
Yeah, I just locked in. I just locked in the shirt sponsor this week, so we will have shirts and everything available again this year. I'll be releasing all that sponsor information and stuff starting next week. 561musicfest.com or 561musicfestival.com gets you your tickets, gets you information, gets you lineup. You can put in your shirt size if that's the ticket you're getting, and at 561 Music Podcast is the socials, is all the socials. So
Facebook and Instagram's at 561 Music Podcast.
Yeah, for
websites 561music.com.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. Well, listen, it was an absolute pleasure. Thanks so much for coming, guys. You're sweet and also a great band, and this has just been very enjoyable chatting to you.
Thanks for stopping by,
so
Amy.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, my alter ego is now
Hang on
Amy.
a second. What are we doing this weekend? We didn't get there.
We're playing O'Shea's on Friday.
O'Shea's on Friday.
Patty Mac's on Saturday.
Patty Mac's on Saturday. And then I've got an acoustic show, which Devon says he's going to come to, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's Sunday. I
A
can't wait.
songwriter
From
showcase.
My students playing that as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
From 3 to 6 at Black Flamingo in Pompano. And I've never been there, but I'm looking forward to checking it out.
Yeah.
And I'm playing, I don't know exactly what time. You should come down for the whole thing because there's loads of cool people playing, including a student of mine, which is a trip, right?
Right on.
Yeah.
Which one's yours?
Krista Fidel.
Okay, right on.
Yeah.
I got Emma Moon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's a monster.
Oh, sick, dude.
Yeah.
Excellent. I can't wait. Well, listen, let's get out of here. We'll see you later.
See you
guys.
later.
Peace out.
Everybody sing, it's what we're doing.